Welcome back to another episode of Deal Me In. I really don't have a catchy slogan as to why I call it Deal Me In. Like, literally, these are topics, and I thought it was cool. I don't know. Deal Me In. Anyway, so today, if you guys don't mind, I am going to rant and rave about fucking relationships because they're horrible. Like, I feel like you almost have to be married. Like, if you don't get married, it's not a beautiful thing. It's not. Like, dating is not a beautiful thing. It's work and little reward. I mean, you have like these little mini victories, but honestly, when you're in a marriage, it's like, hey, we are both stuck forever, so you might as well make this worthwhile, right? Like in a relationship, you can just like, hey, I'm not here forever. I'm not yours forever. You're not mine forever. Like, I really don't owe you much. So then you have like people who date, right? So you're dating, so you have to give a little bit of you to all these people. Not like a lot, like, because you don't go like date 20 people at once, hopefully, but you get what I mean, right? So excuse me today, but I just kind of want to shed light on the topic. I'm not by any means any kind of specialist or therapist. I probably need therapy myself, but but no, like, I have this thing about me to where, like, I usually know what I'm talking about. I don't know how. I usually do. I pay attention, really take time, and I look at things in life, and I listen to people in life, and I pull it all together, and somehow it formulates this truth that a lot of people need to hear, because it's not that everybody doesn't know it. These are things that people probably already know. It's not like I'm pulling out some kind of relationship handbook and like giving you gems. It's not that. It's just literally people lose track of what they need to hear, and they just lose like steps along the way, right? Because you get so involved in it to where like you're not really. It's like a map. Like a map that you have circled 10 times. And you throw away the map because you don't need it, because you've circled 10 times, right? But then, you've kind of like got sidetracked because they're like some kind of like wild animals who have attacked you. So now it's like, you know where to go, but like your mind is scrambled. So it's like, oh man, is it a right or left turn? I don't know. Where's my map? Right? So, my thing is, I figured I wanted to talk about this subject today because relationships, and it's not just romantic relationships, but although that is the basis of the topic today, but relationships basically are like the handles to like our clocks of life, right? Like, it's kind of what makes us tick. Relationships, friendships, if those are off, it's kind of like your day is off. You know, if you have like a really close friend and there are things going on, it's like you go to work and you continue in your day-to-day life, but it's like, this really bothers me that this is happening, right? Like, you kind of just want to like make it all right. And then, so even more so, like family, work relationships, oh my goodness, that's the worst, right? Because you have no choice but to go to work because you have to make money. And then it's like, you know, you may even love your job. I hope that most of you do. But you may even love your job, and still, like, it's like you're going to work. You have to go to work for a living. We're adults. It's just the way of life, right? You may even own your own business or whatever. And maybe you ventured into a business with a business partner who is not up to par, not what you thought it would be. But it's like until you decide that next step, here you are. So how terrible is that? Like, knowing you have to go here, make a living, do whatever you have to do, and like deal with this nonsense. So like, when I say relationships are so important, it's so important. It's so many of like the key things that you need to do to kind of maintain those relationships and work through it in a positive way, which is not always easy. Doesn't always happen. We're human. But so many of that goes for like any type of relationship, right? These are just like key things. Not saying that, again, I'm not like, I don't have a handbook. I'm not giving you guys gems from a handbook. I don't have all the answers, but I feel like talking is so therapeutic. That's kind of the reason I love podcasting, because just getting it all out there and just hearing other perspective, feedback, like those conversations are so important. Like people who just kind of cut off from that, it's not healthy. Not to judge or not to say people who live a certain lifestyle are like any, less great, but just it's really important to have conversations. You know what I mean? Like you can hold things in. Like you don't have to like go around like, oh, I have a best friend I talk to all the time, a family I talk to. But you should have someone or some kind of outlet. Is important, right? So it's kind of just what this is today, if you will. I feel like I've ranted and kind of gone on this little tangent before I even got into things, and I'm sorry. But I wanted you guys to understand why I view it as important. And a lot of people just don't think that way. They literally don't think those conversations or like relationships, maintaining healthy relationships matter, because they feel like as long as I'm accomplishing what I need and I do my part, and it's fine. But I'm going to assume all people aren't heartless, and you kind of care about what happens in this other person's life or like their mind and how they view it. So anyway, all that to say, so relationships, let's dial back. So romantic relationships, you have dating, you have marriage, you have dating is one thing. Let's clear this up. Being in a relationship and dating, two different things than marriage. Clearly that's a whole nother end of the spectrum. So if you are dating, you are literally out there trying to find your person, right? Let's take this, because this season, I don't know how it reeled me in. I think I was just like really, really bored one day and flipped through and I saw The Bachelor. And somebody said something about, I don't know, something was different. I don't know. So I went ahead and I watched. And it's just like, it was funny because you have all these women, they're after this guy. It's like madness, and then it's like, but they're literally trying, I don't know if it's real, but they're literally like, these people are trying to find love, right? This is dating at its best. It's like fast dating, whatever. I don't know if those things like that kind of stuff really exist out there, but you see the movies and you see like the fast dating, they jump from table to table, and it's like people are just trying to find their person, right? So dating is literally that. You don't owe anyone anything. You can go on as many as many dates as you would like. You can converse with whoever you would like because you are dating. You are literally trying to find your person, right? And then you have being in a relationship. Being in a relationship, you owe this person a little bit of something, You are saying, okay, let's take dating to the next step. Let's take you and me, make it an exclusive thing, see how we vibe. Let's, some people, decide to be in a relationship for like a year and then maybe they get married or engaged or whatever. Some have like 10-year relationships and they don't need marriage or whatever. But all that to say, a relationship is when you feel like you found your person and you want to explore how maybe marriage will feel. Not to say you go play house and you both get, in a situation together, just to say that you add a little bit more responsibility to that relationship. Month by month or year by year, however you both feel comfortable. You get to know the important people in each other's lives. You get to know more about this person. You show this person new things. You explore together. You make these memories together, all of these things, right? That is a relationship. Two totally different things, right? And I feel like people stray the lines of that so much. People, I feel like they get into relationships for the aspect of the same aspect that you would get into like a dating situation for. That's not what you do. Like, maybe that's why so many relationships fail so quickly, or they get torn apart. Like, don't get into a relationship with someone if you're not really having that feeling like you found your person. And there's a difference between infatuation and love. I'm not saying you have to love someone to be in a relationship, because love is different for everyone. Everyone sees love as something different. So I'm just saying, like, I think people need to have a clear understanding of what it is that they're looking for, what the other person is looking for, and if you guys have found that same thing and if you're on the same path for it. Because how often do you see relationships where you're in it for like 3 years, and then you guys have a conversation? It's like, well, I wasn't on that path, or that wasn't my intention, like from day one. Like, not to say people can't grow apart, but literally, like, you all find that you two had two different intentions. And it's like, how did that were you both just having fun, and it was just like we're spending every day together, so it just like continues because, hey, this is good, let's just ride it out? So I don't know, I feel like that's the thing. What is major in a relationship? Like, what is the number one thing that holds a relationship together? Is it trust? Is it love? Is it intimacy? What is it? Or do you literally need all three? I wonder what you guys think. So they have this feature on Anchor where you can leave voice messages. If anybody has Anchor and you're listening to this, leave I don't even care if you say, hey, your podcast sucks. That's fine. But I just think it's really cool. Like, I don't really have people are so shy these days. So, like, if you're listening, you have Anchor, leave a voice message. Like, I like to know what you guys think. You utilize the email that you guys have. Everyone has the link. If you found this one, then you probably found it using my link. So on that link, it has like all these different tabs, right? And you can tap to my email as well. So, hey. And then if you're on my social media, you can like randomly leave a comment under any one of my beautiful pictures. So, yeah, no, but I like to hear feedback from you guys. So remember, like, if you hear me like asking questions in here, or if you hear something you're like, oh, she's way off base, or like, oh, she's right. Yeah, I like for you guys to interact. Like, anyway, so that being said, where was I? Just lost track. See, that's one bad thing about being like a solo host on your own podcast. Like, if you lose track, there's no one there to just say something else ridiculous or to pull you back in. You're kind of just like, I don't know. Anyway, so it'd just be nice to have like a little encouragement, right? Okay, so I think I got my thoughts together now. So basically, love, trust, or intimacy. I don't know which one is better if you need all three. So with love, I feel like I said, everybody sees love as different, but I feel like love to me is, what is love? Love is partnership. Love is like companionship, like that true companionship. Not just like being there, like you're